What's up, everybody? This is your boy Kanal, aka Black Man Travels. Glad to be alive today. We have a special invited guest, Mr. Marquies Hill. Just got back from South Africa, one of the best countries that I ever traveled to. For the next hour, we're going to talk about South Africa, his experience, my experience, but also his journey as a traveling painter. Yes, he is a traveling painter. He traveled across all the globes. I think he's been to 6 continents already, and he's traveled. He literally traveled. Um, yeah, 6 continents. he has been to 6 continents, just like me. I've been to 6 continents, but what he does, he actually paints. He does live paintings in each country that he goes to, including each city he goes to within the United States. He's been to several states, and we're going to ask him. We're going to actually have a real life conversation with him because he's a unique type of traveler. I've been around. I've been in this space for quite a while, and I've seen a lot of interesting people. But this guy, he just stands out. Just for the simple fact that he's going to places that most people are not going, but also too, he's creating an experience for others by painting murals. So we're going to talk to Mr. Marquies Hill today, doing this Black Man Travels podcast, and we're going to actually have a show receipts. And again, when we talk about receipts, we're not simply just talking about one thing. We're showing our experiences, places that we've been to, the food, the culture. And if he's single, the women, and anything else. So hey, this can be a live, interesting conversation. If you have any comments, please drop the comments. Drop your thoughts in the comments section. Be engaged. And again, we're talking about South Africa. Not too many people have been to South Africa. I've been to South Africa back in 2018. So this is your opportunity to learn more about South Africa. Also, there's another country you've been to, Namibia, right?
Namibia, yeah.
Yes.
Namibia.
So we're going to talk about that. So let me go ahead and start the introduction. Mr. Marquies Hill, welcome to the show, man. How you doing?
How you doing, man? Pretty good, man. Well, I appreciate you letting me back on your show.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of yours. I've been following you for over the years. And I really inspired. What you do, man. I appreciate it a lot.
Hey, man. You know what? You inspired me in a lot of ways, man. I've been a huge fan from day one. This was a few years back, and I was just watching you doing your thing. And I'm like, bro, you need to get a GoPro, man, bro. You need to record your experience, and to see you grow as a man, based on your lifestyle and you traveling and you going to places that I've been to. It's a beautiful thing. It's always great to see someone else experience what I experienced. So we're going to talk about that today, man. And again, go ahead, Mr. Marquies Hill. Introduce yourself. Let everyone know who you are.
Yes. My name is Marquies Hill. I've been traveling around solo for 8 years now, and I just revisit my 6th continent, and I just got one more after this, and that's Antarctica. So that what I do is I just travel around the world, do different paintings, sell it to people, sell it to local the people that's in the country around in the city as well. So also I travel around in the United States as well. So I'm currently stationed in Montana right now. I'm gonna be out here for a few years, doing making some money out here, promoting more of my artwork. So I mean, that's pretty much.
So let me ask you this: what made you move to Montana of all places? You rarely hear Black people going to Montana, better yet, living in Montana. So what made you go to Montana of all places?
What made me decide to go to Montana is because I got a job offer up here. I work at a ski resort called Big Sky Resort.
Okay.
It's pretty much it's more like a tourist, a resort, where people go on vacation if they want to go skiing, if they want to go snowboarding or something like that during the winter, or maybe during the summertime they want to go up here do hiking or kayaking, or they want to do camping, or they want to do mountain biking. So that's pretty much is what the village that I live in around here.
Wait a minute, we got a brother that lives in Montana that does the skis, does camping.
Yeah.
Dude, are you Black?
Huh?
Are you Black? Are you a Black man or what, man? Because you rarely hear Black people, particularly Black men, doing these things. So, are you, or what are you?
I actually I don't consider because okay now this is interesting because when I show several people my itinerary about what I was going to do in Africa, they was why you gonna do that, Marquis? Black people don't do that. Why you gonna do that? I was like, well, for me, I don't consider myself like, there's no such thing as like, black people do this
I agree.
or black people don't do that. Like, I'm just like, just live your life,
I
because
agree.
because I feel like, I just don't like put myself in a category like, like people should act this, what, how people should behave in this particular way. And that's that because based on like, based on like, their skin tone or their color or their personality. I believe everybody should like just live their life, Doesn't matter like what you do, like, just live your life, man. Like,
Look, I'm a strong believer. I don't believe in
yeah,
pigeonholing yourself. Like
yeah,
a lot of people don't know, I used to be a street skater.
yeah,
I
yeah,
used to be a street skater skateboard. I had a Santa Cruz and a Par Peralta
yeah,
skateboards.
yeah,
And this is back in the 90s, guys. This is 93, 94, 95. I was a bona fide skater until my ass picked up some damn weight and got taller. And
yeah,
I stopped skating. But dude, I used to listen to Green Day. I used to listen to Metallica. Like I'm taking this back to the night, Nirvana. I was a huge Nirvana head.
yeah,
But again, you'll never think so. Because again, one thing as black people, we should never pigeonhole ourselves into a particular category based on what the mainstream wants you to think. If you want to become a skater, if you want to do something that is outside the norm of your race group, do it. Because you'd be amazed there's other people who just like you have the same interest to do the things that you want to do.
yeah. Because I also want to say something like when I was in Montana, like, this past summer, like, like during my time during the summer here, like I did my first water rafting.
Hmm.
And it was pretty great. And I was the only brother that was on that boat, actually. Totally be honest with you, I was the only brother on that boat, and I was the only person that fell off. I was in the water for about 10 seconds, and I pulled myself up. And the reason why I fell in the water because I had an overweight guy that was like sitting in front of me, laid back all the way back, like we was like sitting in the car. So I had to sit on the edge of the boat, and we crashed into a rock. And all of a sudden, I go overboard. So I
Wow.
grabbed onto him. I was on for 10 seconds, and I just pulled myself back up into the boat. And that was so. I mean, that was an experience. I mean,
You know what? This one thing that I would never do
yeah,
because I can't swim is
same
water
here.
rafting.
Yeah, yeah,
I can't swim. I'll be petrified.
yeah,
Like there's no way in hell you putting me on a raft boat. Even though I
yeah,
came
yeah.
into this country on a raft boat, I'm
Uh
not
huh.
going back on a raft boat.
Well,
So
I
that's
mean,
something I'll
well,
never do.
well, they give us life jackets. So I mean,
I
it
don't
was pretty
trust the
special.
damn life jacket, man. I don't trust it.
Why
I
not
don't
that?
trust it. If I put that sucker on, I'm still
Yeah.
drowning.
Okay,
I'm
okay,
still drowning.
okay.
Look, man, I'm 250 pounds. There's no way a little red jacket is gonna save me.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah. Okay.
sorry.
Yeah.
I don't have no faith in it. So that's
Okay.
why I don't do none of that water sports, water activity. I'm gonna stay my ass on the shoreline and watch you guys have a good time.
Well, there's something interesting I want to tell you about something that I had done.
Go ahead.
That does involve water,
All right.
and that was the shark cage diving.
Oh,
So I'm
trust me,
gonna
we're gonna
talk
talk
about
about
that.
that.
I'm gonna
We're gonna
talk
talk
about
about that.
that. So
We're gonna talk about
I
that,
know
man.
that you're gonna be terrified about that. So
Man, bro, I
I'm gonna
was
get
like,
into it
I was
a little
seeing
bit
your
later
clips,
on
man. I'm
today.
like, there's no way in hell.
Oh yeah.
There's no way in hell. But anyways, before we get into the South Africa guys, again, thank you for watching the show. We have a very interesting, inspiring painter, like who's done amazing things around the world, 6 continents. And he just got back from South Africa. And I when I say I've been a fan of this man for a while, like he says he's a fan of me, but I'm a fan of him. Because I love to see brothers doing things that's outside the norm. And to watch this brother do his thing out in South Africa, I want him to talk about it. We're going to talk about South Africa. We're going to talk about the cities that we've been to, the experiences that we had, the people, the culture, the food, and of course, we're going to talk about everything else that you want to know. So if you have any questions you want to ask, you're more than welcome to ask us. Again, this is South Africa. This is not Colombia. This is not DR. This is not Brazil. This is not Thailand. This is South Africa. This is the motherland. So we're going to have a real life conversation. Highly recommended place for any person to visit. If you plan to go to Africa for the first time, I say go to South Africa first. That's pretty much your beginner country of all of Africa. I know typically people say, "Oh, go to Kenya, go to Ghana." go to South Africa, experience South Africa first, then branch out to the other countries. So with that being said, let's talk about South Africa, man. So let us know. What, I got some video clips that I want to show. So
Yeah.
let me know what videos you want me to start off first, and you can start talking from there.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Now, so you want me to start now about?
Yeah,
So,
go
okay.
for
Now,
it.
so now I was in South Africa for 2 weeks, and then after 2 weeks, I went to Namibia for 2 weeks as well. So now, but the first city that I had went to was Cape Town. I stayed in Cape Town for 8 days, and I had rented an Airbnb. So the Airbnb was about like $500 for 7 days. I mean, for 8 days, for 8 nights, and I stayed in an area called Sea Point,
See
which is
point.
one of
Yeah,
which was one of the nicest areas in Cape Town. So I highly recommend staying in Sea Point.
I
Like you,
actually,
mhm,
I actually stayed in Long Street.
yeah.
You know where Long Street is, where all the bars and
Oh yeah,
restaurants were.
yeah. Actually, I
Dude,
went there. Yeah, I'll talk about that later. Okay, I actually
I
went
was
there.
my place was a block away. My
Okay,
place literally was a block away, and again,
okay,
we're going to actually have a live discussion here, and we're going to show some pictures and videos so people
yeah,
could actually see South Africa. I think a lot of people have this perception what
yeah,
Africa is, and it's just like, no, it's modern. It's extremely modern.
yeah.
So, like again, we're talking about Cape Town first. Let me see where should I start. Actually, you know what? Let me show the place where I stayed at, Marcus. Then we could go
Uh,
from there.
okay, yeah.
All right, here we go. 1 second. All right. All right. This is the place that I.
Okay, okay. That's pretty nice. Okay, yeah. Okay.
Now, keep in mind, Marcus. Guess how much I paid for that place? This is back in 2018. Guess how much I was paying per night for this place?
How much for a night?
Just take a wild guess.
Um, so back in 2018,
Yeah.
in U.S. dollars or let me,
U.S. dollars. U.S. dollars. How much do you think I paid for this place?
I see about like $20 USD or
I paid $48 a day.
$48 a night.
Yeah. $48 a day, guys. I was literally a block away from Long Street, which is up where all the bars and clubs are.
Hi.
I had the view of Lionhead, which is
Yeah,
the infamous rock area.
yeah.
And literally I'm walking distance to everything. I
Okay.
could walk from any direction. I'm in a safe, convenient area. All the action is. There's always something to do. So at the time, I was paying
Hmm.
$48 a night for this Airbnb spot. Security, 24-hour security, where you got to check in every day. Um, if you have guests, they got to check in with IDs. There's cameras. I felt safe, and I was paying only $48 a day. Now I don't even think this place would probably cost $48. I mean, what do you think?
Yeah. I think things had went up a little bit. Maybe
Yeah,
it went by like $60 a night, something like that. Maybe USD or something
yeah.
like that. Yeah.
So yeah, so you were saying, so you're paying what, $45 for your spot?
Yeah. So basically, like it was like $500 for 8 nights.
Mm-hmm.
So like, that was the total, and that maybe it was about like 40, $45 a night or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah. So like what I was saying that if you're staying in the Sea Point area, like where I was staying at, it's only about like a 5 minute walk to the beach and everything. There's a strip that you can walk down to.
Yeah, I've
It's
been
like
there.
it's like beautiful scenery. A lot of restaurants, a lot of
Yeah.
bars and stuff like that. It's a beautiful scenery. You'll get a view of the Table Mountain, Lion's Head. It's a really great view. I highly recommend like staying in Sea Point or Green Point. It's just like right down the street from Sea Point. and I highly recommend staying in those two areas if you're staying in Cape Town.
Yeah, and again, don't forget Long Street, guys. If
Yeah,
you're by yourself, single guy, you want to be close to the action, I say stay on Long Street area. Again, these are all the places that was right next to me. I could literally walk to all these places that I'm showing you right now.
yeah,
And again, this is my view from Long Street,
yeah,
and it's worth the money. But now I'm not sure how much would it cost now. But again, you can never go wrong in Cape Town. Cape Town is the diamond of South Africa. That's where I would say Cape Town is the South Beach
yeah.
or San Diego. What do you think? I mean, like if you were to position Cape Town towards any American city, what American city would it be?
Um, I would put it as like San Diego,
San
or
Diego?
or Los Angeles. What like it's between there because like for me I say like this has have to be one of my top five favorite cities in the world, like
Yeah.
that I have visited, and it is a lot to do in the city. You will not ever get bored in Cape Town. There is so much stuff to do
You
there.
won't. You won't. And
uh,
yeah, you'll never get bored because the thing is, you got the city life, but
hmm
also too, you got the beach life. If you go to what's the name of the area where the
which
beach
one?
is at?
It's called Camps Bay, or
Yeah, Camp Bay. Camp Bay. Yeah.
yeah, Camps Bay. Yeah, I highly recommend like visiting that city. That beach as well is pretty nice. You get a nice view of the 12 Apostle Mountains. So I mean, it's pretty unique on that
Yep.
beach as well.
Yep. Yep. And the thing is too about Cape Town, man, you get
Yeah,
a different mixture of people there.
yeah,
Um,
it's definitely diverse. It's
yeah.
yeah, definitely
Well,
diverse people.
tell us how the people treated you there, and I'll follow up after you.
Oh, I mean, well, the people treated me pretty well out there. Like, people was like, when I was asking for directions, they was like extremely helpful. Even the Uber drivers, like they was like put me on information that don't walk the streets at night in certain areas, like just to make sure that you keep your stuff in front of you. Make sure that you don't trust certain people or the way how they behave or when they come up towards you or something like that. So people like they was extremely helpful. Like actually, like I met some friends when I was out there. I met a lady chick on the beach. She was pretty helpful. She was pretty nice. I actually have a digital camera, and she saw that when I was like doing my art project, and she wanted me to take some actual photos of her. So I was like, sure, go ahead. I'll take some photos of you. I was like, sure. And me and her like exchanged information after that, and we just like was like came friends after that. So it was
Yeah.
a pretty unique vibe.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Now
yeah,
this
yeah.
we're getting some questions here. This person say Tanzania Tony, did you check out the whites only town in Cape Town?
Um, Not only that, I checked out the Blacks account as well because now it's a very it's a very diverse city because like full of cultures as well
It's
because
also
like
very segregated. Let's
yeah,
talk
yeah,
about that. Let's talk
yeah,
about that.
yeah, yeah,
I mean, for me, like South Africa, guys, you guys know about apartheid. When I was there, I think it was only less than 25 years removed from it.
hmm
So the tension was still there. I felt it.
yeah,
In Johannesburg, I didn't feel it, but when I went to Cape Town, I felt it.
hmm
Um, I went to a colored town, like a colored neighborhood. And I went to
yeah.
like a black neighborhood, like an African neighborhood, but I didn't go to they call them Boers. The white folks, they call them Boers. I didn't go to none of that. But I did feel the racial tension. I did felt it. But lucky for
Okay,
me, because I'm American and they picked up my
yeah,
American accent fast. They like people were constantly asking, "Where you from? Where you from?" Like when I said Miami, and it's like no, they thought I was from Nigeria or from Ghana or from Angola. I'm like, no, I'm from Miami, Haiti. And it's just
yeah,
like
yeah.
I noticed that everywhere I was going, people
hmm
wanted to know whether or not if I was Nigerian or Ghana. I don't know why at the time, but find out that there was some beef issues. Like most South Africans don't like Nigerians.
Yeah, because like for me, they was actually the same day, like where you from, and I said like I was American, so
Yeah,
that was like wow. They was like because like They thought I was like actually like one of them. I thought I was like African. But
Hmm.
and when I actually spoke, when I said I was from America, they was like, "Wow!" I was like, "Wow!" I never thought that you would be like from America. I thought you was like one of us. I was like, "No, no, I'm American." You know. I mean,
Yeah, it's funny because like when I told them I was American, a lot of them never met an American before.
yeah,
So it was like, oh wow, you here? It's like welcome home. I'm like, okay, thanks, man. But I just
yeah,
noticed that everywhere I go, it was like, hey, where you from? It wasn't meant to be like from America, like where you from within the continent of Africa. So
yeah,
they wanted to know, which West African country because I have West African features that I came from. So that was just kind of interesting.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, that was for yeah, and also like for me, like I haven't met that many Americans when I was out there, like Black
I didn't meet
Americans.
none.
Um, Now the Americans that I have met, it was like mostly like Caucasians, like they was like from like they were like from like DC or from like Washington. They was from like California or something like that. Like for me, I met this black family, that was like from I think they was from Chicago,
Okay.
and like like it was like a father and his son. Well, like her and he brought his girlfriend with him. So like they was like traveling on a family trip or something like that. So I met them like that gondola that goes up on Table Mountain, that
Yeah.
that cart, that cable cart.
Yeah. The
So
cart that
yeah,
takes you
so
to the
like
mountain.
I met them there. And like and I was talking to the boy's father. He was like, this is not my first time in Cape Town. Like, he'd been here before. He actually like he did trade school, like
Oh, okay.
like from the United States to Cape Town. So like that's how he met his wife,
Mm.
there. So that, he was telling me that like he said he absolutely loved the city. He said like I took my son out here. This is my second time being out here since I went to school out here. I was like, okay, yeah. So he was telling me everything like hike up Table Mountain because like if you want to hike up Table Mountain, it takes about at least an hour and 20 minutes to hike up the
Yeah.
mountain.
Yeah.
So
I said no. I was like, no. I'll take the
so
bus halfway up, then take the cart
yeah.
up. Like,
So like so like what I did, like I hiked up. Well, like I had all my stuff, my backpack and my easels and
oh
my pen and
man.
stuff. So I had my camera. So like it took me like at least about 2 hours for me to get up there because all the stuff that I had. So and also on my way up, I met this family couple. That I think they was from Wisconsin, and they was white by the way, and they was like they was like, yeah, well, what are you doing out here? They was like, you an American? I was like, yeah, what are you doing here? I was like working on some inspiration for my project. So I
Mm.
showed them my itinerary. So like the wife was like looking at my itinerary. I was like, wow. She was like, wow, this guy is about his business just by me looking at my itinerary,
Yeah.
everything that I had written down, exactly what I was going to do, like before I came, to South Africa. So like she pointed that out like pretty quick, like damn, wow, like this guy really knows how like to get things done,
You know what? I'm the same way. And shout out to Bacchus. He
Yeah,
got me that way. I'm very agenda focused. So I have an itinerary whenever I travel. So
yeah,
I know exactly each day what I'm doing, when I'm doing, and how I'm going to do it.
yeah,
So I think if more people were to be as of efficient and effective that way, your trip would be a whole lot better. Now,
yeah,
granted, there's sometimes you just got to wing it, like, hey, just go out there and enjoy yourself. It doesn't have to be as thoroughly planned. But what I've learned, and I learned this from Bacchus, shout out to Bacchus, is to really have somewhat an itinerary, a baseline that you could use so you know exactly what each day is going to happen during your travels. Because again, when I traveled to South Africa, I was out there for 21 days and I was doing multiple cities. And it was just like, listen, I knew exactly where I wanted to go in Johannesburg, Durban, and Cape Town. I knew exactly. Now, once I got there and I completed it, it was winging it. It's like, all right, cool. Let's just go with the flow. If I hear music and there's food, I'm going to it.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, I'm the same way because like now I hired 3 private tour guides when I was in South Africa. One that took me to the shark cage diving, one that took me to the bungee jump bridge, and the one in Johannesburg. that they took me around, like, the actual, like, the slums and everything, the rough areas that was telling me. Now, I, now I want to tell you something, like, if you want to know some inside information about what's going on in South Africa, like, the actual information, just hire a private tour guide,
Yeah.
because that private tour guide is going to tell you the actual raw information of what's really going on inside that country, and make sure that he's from that African country as well, because he's not going to tell you like no BS or anything like that about what's going on. Because like for me, I highly recommend, like, don't do like group tours or anything like that, because like they're really not going to tell you that the actual information.
Yeah.
So that's why I say hire a private tour guide, because when I hire these private tour guides, I learned so much history about the continent and actual the country as well that I didn't even know nothing about. Information that was taught to me that I wasn't even taught in grade school. That's how much like history that I had learned when I was in Africa. And Africa is the only continent that I visit out of all the six that I learned so much history.
I mean, I can't say this enough. And when I tell people, when you go to these countries, especially a country you've never been, go ahead and pay for that tour guide. Pay for it.
Yeah.
It's worth every penny. And if you could actually do a personal tour guide, that's even better, because I've done that
Yeah.
plenty of times. Lucky for me, when I was in South Africa, I was just meeting people, and they were
Hmm.
down to like show me around. So what I did, I kind of break them over some cash, like, yo, thanks. But they were just more than happy to hang out with me.
Yeah.
So they showed me around, like, hey, listen, I'm going out with my girls. Whether you want to come through, like, hell yeah, let's go. But I always recommend, guys, if you're traveling, particularly if you're traveling by yourself, hire a tour guide, man, and make sure that person's legit. Make sure that person's from there,
Hmm.
because you have a lot of people who so-called from. They say that they're from that country, but they're really not. So
Yeah.
just be mindful of that. But yeah, it's worth every penny to actually pay for a tour guide. So
Yeah.
hey, go ahead. Good. I'm sorry.
Okay. Yeah. Like, because like, I had Uber drivers that was like volunteering that, hey,
Nah.
like, I could take you around or something like that and
Nope.
everything like that, like, they was like giving me that contact information and everything like that, say I'm from here. I was like, okay. I was like, I haven't done it, but like, they was just offering it to me, like, hey, I can show you around, I can pay you this, like, this amount of money. But like, I already, like, hired these private tour guides like before, I went to Africa already. So like,
We have a question for you though, Marcus. Baka says, "How did you find your private guide?"
okay, now the first private tour guide, now like, it was like the shark cage diving, because like, there was no way. Now the headquarters of the shark cage diving is in Cape Town, but like it's like a certain area that, they will you can't do it in Cape Town. You have to go like further out. It's like 2 hours out of Cape Town, which is like I think it's like a couple of minutes out of Hermanus. Hermanus is one of the African cities. So I highly recommend visiting that city as well. It's pretty beautiful. So that's where you're gonna do the shark cage diving at, around like Hermanus. So so like the way how that private tour guide was, like, because like through the company of the shark cage diving that I had done. So they granted me that private tour guide. I was like, okay, I hired the private tour guide. They took me out there because there was no transportation of getting to the shark cage diving, from Cape Town. So that's how I ended up with that private tour guide first. Now, that private tour guide, he was extremely nice. He took me, like, to see the penguins. He took me like to go see, like, the whales and everything like that, how they live and everything like that, the other landscapes. So it was pretty nice. And like, the second private tour guide, I had went online. So like, I was like, because I was planning on doing like the bungee jump bridge. So I was like, how can I get to the bungee jump bridge? So it was this private tour guide from TripAdvisor. Like, he has like high good reviews and everything. So I looked him up. He's pretty legit. Like I talked to him before I went to South Africa and everything like that. Like, we got along pretty well over the phone. And actually, like when I went there, like, we got along even better. Like, he invited me over to his house and everything. And like I met his wife. We had a barbecue and everything like that. So it was pretty good. he showed me around a lot of landscapes and everything. Actually, he was telling me that about South Africa, like in certain areas that like it's really it's certain areas it's illegal to pick flowers in certain fields in South Africa because like the and the reason why that is because the way how the flowers grow, they need the seed so they can actually like regrow more flowers. So that's why he said it's illegal to pick certain flowers and like in several in South Africa because when I was driving to my accommodation, when he picked me up from the airport. After he picked me up from the airport, there was these kids, that was they wanted can you buy some flowers from us? So that's why he pointed it out. I was like, it's illegal to pick these flowers, what these kids was like offering us. So I was like, oh, okay, so that's kind of interesting. So yeah.
Well, we have some of your content that we want to start showing.
Yeah.
And just for the people who's actually watching the podcast right now, these are my content from 2018. I definitely would love to go back to Cape Town,
Yeah.
especially what I know now about traveling and photography and everything else. I would love to go back because again, Cape Town is a very beautiful city. It's a lot of like for a photographer, content creator, that's the place to be. There's so much things you could do there. And again, not too many people go to South Africa like that. So if you're a big time content creator, going to South Africa, especially exploring that particular region of Cape Town, man, you could definitely get a lot of views. And this is before I even thought about doing YouTube. So it was just me going out there and just taking pictures.
Yeah.
And the food is amazing. I mean,
Yeah,
what's
the
your thought on
food
the
is
food
great.
there in Cape Town? Because I know the food in Cape Town is different from Johannesburg and Durban. So how was the food experience for you in Cape Town?
Oh, the food was wonderful. I really had a good time. With every dish that I had ate there. I highly recommend visiting like the VA waterfront. So I mean, they really got
Yeah.
some nice food there, nice restaurants, something like that. So it was pretty good. I highly recommend. If you like seafood, they got one of the best seafoods on the planet, in my opinion. I mean, they know how to cook. I mean, the South African food is amazing.
Yeah, they know how to cook, and the price point is affordable. It's very affordable.
Yeah,
I
the
I,
price is very affordable. Yeah,
I went to Waterfront as well. Man, ate like a king
yeah,
and had a good time. And it's just like again, guys, the food is affordable. It's very tasty. It's not bland. Again, this is Africans, so they know how to cook. Man, they put their foot in the water. You know what I mean? So it's just like the food experience is gonna be interesting because again, you also have wild game food options too. You can have an
yeah,
ostrich, a
yeah,
wildebeest, a springbok,
yeah,
all
yeah.
the stuff I had. I had all type of stuff there,
Yeah,
man.
you can have zebra meat. You
Yeah,
can
zebra
have that.
meat.
Yeah, you can have all types of food that you want, man. Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
let's go ahead and start showing like your experience, man, because I think people need to
Okay.
see what you were doing in South Africa. I'm gonna pull it up right now.
Yeah,
Which one do you want me to pull up? The one that you paragraphing first?
yeah. The
This South
paragliding.
Africa?
Yeah, paragliding. Yeah, the
All
paragliding.
right.
Yeah, let's show that.
1 second. And you could just walk us through the actual video and let us,
Okay.
there's no way in hell I would do this, but I love watching other people do it. So
Yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah.
I
Okay,
think
so
I
yeah. Okay, yeah.
yeah.
So that's me right there. That's my pilot right there in the back with the blue backpack. So he the one that what I went up in the air with. Now the paragliding, you're gonna be up there for almost an hour. I
Wow.
basically like by 30 or 40 minutes, you're gonna be up in the air. Because you're pretty much like gliding, like off the cliff. And it was pretty good. It was kind of a scary activity. One of my activities that I had done. So it was pretty amazing. I never paraglide. I never did skydiving. So this is kind of like a little upscale, like under skydiving. And so I was maybe I'll do the paragliding because the paragliding, the parachute is already out the bag. So so pretty much all you have to do is just glide off the cliff and everything. You already in the air.
there's no way in hell I would do that. It just
Okay, well,
well, I'm
well,
curious. I'm curious to know, like, where did you guys launch from? This is like top of
um,
Lion's Head, or
no, this is have you heard of Signal Hill?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's where it's from. So like you're gonna start off Signal Hill.
Okay,
You could glide off of there's two destinations that you could start off from. You could do it like from Lion's Head, or you could do it from Signal Hill. So I did mine from Signal Hill because that's where the actual offices is, like where people mostly do the paragliding.
hmm.
So I decided to pick Signal Hill because that's where everybody mostly like do it at anyway. So,
Wow,
but other than that,
look at the view, man.
I mean,
Again, guys, Cape Town is beautiful, man. I can't say this enough. And the
yeah,
good thing about Cape Town is you're surrounded by mountains, so you could go up there and see the city.
yeah, man,
And
it
it's
was
very
pretty.
chilly up there too.
Yeah, it was pretty windy. Now, now, Cape Town got some weird weather, man.
Yeah, it does.
Like it could rain 3 times just in one day, and all of a sudden, like after it's raining, the sun comes out, and then
Yeah.
probably like the next 20 minutes, all of a sudden it's raining again, and all of a sudden like the sun comes out. So now, like this paragliding trip that I had done, it almost got canceled
Wow.
because of the weather conditions out there. Because I say like in early in the morning, like Cape Town, it could get very very windy. Like heavy wind.
Yeah.
Because I had heard that like you could do skydiving in Cape Town, but you can't go very high like up in the air. There's only a certain amount of level that you only could go.
Why?
Like like up in the air, like when it comes like the skydiving
Yeah.
in the city of Cape Town, because like Cape Town has a lot of heavy wind weather
Oh yeah, they
conditions.
could push you out to the ocean.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why like like you can't go very high in the air. So
And
that's
don't
why
forget, guys, the ocean, you're surrounded by great whites.
yeah, that's why I said they got
So,
great white sharks there too. So so as well. So I mean yeah, but when I was in the air, like I was high, but I wasn't very high when I did the paragliding because like
okay.
because there's only a certain amount of level that you could go and go.
Now, what was the cost for that? What was the total cost for that experience?
The whole thing, it was only like $100 US.
Guys, where can you actually spend $100
Oh,
US to paraglide
the
and
paraglide.
have an amazing view of a city? You can't do that here.
Yeah, and guess what? Like it includes like the video and photos as well. All that you
Wow.
get all
A
that
hundred
just for
dollars.
get all that for $100.
$100.
$100. Just that's it. $100 US. You could
Man,
do the
look, man.
paragliding and you could get like free video, free photos included as well. They got photographers on the mountain as well that can take pictures of you while you gliding off the mountain and everything. So that's pretty unique. That's how you're gonna get your photos and everything. So
It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Now we do have another video. You
yeah.
want to talk about the one that you jumped off the bridge?
Now, okay, now
Is
that
that in
now
Cape Town or that's in Johannesburg?
oh no, that was not in Johannesburg. That was like between like that was like Eastern Cape, in South Africa,
Okay.
and one of those suburbs like areas,
Oh, yeah, but
like
is it? But are you in? But are you in Cape Town area or are you still in Johannesburg?
no, this is not Cape Town or Johannesburg. This is in Eastern Cape, Eastern Cape. It's somewhere like between like in the middle of
Oh wow.
Southern
Okay.
Africa. So
So
this is in the middle of nowhere.
all right. So let's talk about it, man. Let
Yeah.
me pull it up for you. All right. Wow, man. So let me ask you this: what made you decide to do all these craziness stuff during your travels? Like you jumping out of a plane. I mean, you're paragliding. Now you're jumping out of a bridge. I mean, what? I mean, is something going on in your life, man, that you need to sit down and talk about, man? You need some
Well,
counseling. You need seek therapy or
no,
something?
no. Here's the thing, because like, okay, now this is my sixth continent that I have visited. So
Yeah,
like after this being my sixth continent, like I want to go out with a bang. Like I want to do something like I would never done before. Like something that could be
yeah,
remembered. Like do everything like in one activity. So that's why I decided like I want to do more adventurous stuff.
yeah.
Like let's like turn it up a notch.
Wow.
So that's the zip line, to the bungee jump. So now the bungee jump, it actually comes with the zip line, you know. So like you don't have to do the bungee jump. You can actually only do the zip line. So like if you want to do
Okay.
the bungee jump, like you have to do the zip line. But you could do the zip line without the bungee jump. So that's me like doing the interview, how I was feeling during the time, as my jump was like.
Again, Marcus, are you going through some midlife crisis or
No.
some type of issue, man? Because there's no need for for anyone to jump off a bridge. And the fact that
No.
you're doing this while overseas, wait, I assume that you got insurance. Did you purchase your insurance?
Yes, I purchased like travel insurance. Yes.
All right, cool. Because don't be one of these fools out here traveling all over the place with no travel insurance, man. Especially
Yeah,
you
yeah.
taking these risks, man. So now walk us through this process. Like, what is your mental mindset going through this right now, knowing that you're about to jump off a bridge?
Okay, now here's the thing. Now this is the story behind this. Now I was already planning on going out there and paint the bridge because like I was inspired by the images online. I said this is a beautiful bridge, and I already want to go out there and paint this bridge, paint a mirror of it. Not
What
So
now?
like when I found out that this was
I
a
see you
bungee jump,
shaking. I see
huh?
you shaking in that video. You shaking, boy.
Yeah, yeah, because I was nervous. So, so what I wanted to do was, okay, so I found out, oh, this is a bungee jump bridge. Not only that this is a bungee jump bridge, but this is the highest bungee jump bridge in the world.
Wow.
I was like, oh, okay. So, since I never bungee jumped before, I was like, okay, maybe I'll try it out. I'll try the stunt out a little bit. Okay. So, like, I was curious, like, and if I wanted to do it, if I not wanted to do it, I was like, oh my God, I don't want to do it. Maybe I'll do it. Should I do it or should I not do it? Because I'm going to paint the bridge anyway. So I
Yeah.
might as well just jump off of it. I was like, let's see how it is. So my private tour guide, he's actually a white African, by the way. Oh,
Yeah.
the white Africans are called Afrikaners.
Yeah, Afrikaans, yeah.
Yeah, Afrikaners. Afrikaners means white. So just to let y'all guys know. So he was telling me that if somebody put a gun to my head and say jump off this bridge, I would tell him to pull the trigger because there's no way I'm jumping off this bridge. So that's what my private tour guide told me. He said that it gets some anxious and anxiety. Just watch people jump off of it.
I mean, my thing is this, and again, it's like, and this is what I love about us as people,
Yeah,
when we don't live based on what someone else defined what we
yeah,
do. We live in our lives based on our terms. We're gonna do what the
yeah,
fuck we want to do and how we
yeah,
do it. And the
yeah,
fact that you're seeing more and more and more and more and more black people exploring and doing different things, this is a beautiful thing to see. So for me, I think there's a weight requirement. That's probably the reason why I can't do it.
yeah,
But if you could actually do it, experience it, man, I would have loved to be there to watch you do it. I think this is what we call living. Like you living, you taking chances, but also too, just make sure you take the right chances.
okay, yeah,
Doing two back-to-back risky
yeah,
activities, that's a lot, man.
okay, yeah. So so now this right here, so back to the weight, the way how the bungee jump works, like they go by your weight. So
Yep.
they know what type of rope will they need, to secure you. So that's how they do it. They go by your weight when it comes to the bungee jump.
So
That
so
that
how far
huh?
did you drop? How many feet did you drop down?
Oh, totally be honest with you, I really don't know because it was I went down pretty quick and I was like going all the way down so but, I was like wow because I had like a general rush in my gut like butterflies like rushing down into my gut body when I was like falling down.
Yeah.
So I was like I don't know exactly how deep it was, but I feel like it was pretty deep. So
So you
and
paraglide. Now you actually jumped off of a working bridge.
now
Okay.
this was the scariest stunt that I had done when I was when I was in Africa. So now so now when they said they said like 1, 2, 3 bungee, I was supposed to jump, but I had
Mhm.
hesitated So I had stopped. They was like, bungee means jump, man. You gotta jump. I was like, no. So no, I did it again. They was
Wow.
like, 1, 2, 3, bungee. So I just like, oh. So I closed my eyes, but I was like, when I was going down, I had my eyes closed. So I was like, oh my
Wow.
God. I was like, oh. So all of a sudden, I feel like me going back up again. I was like, oh, and then I just went back down again. I was like, oh my God. So like I was upside down for about 2 minutes until somebody had came down and grabbed me back up. So I came back up like this. I was like, oh. He's like, hey man, what's up, man? How you doing? I was like, oh. So it was a
I'm
good
actually
experience, man.
I'm actually going to your Facebook page to show some of the things you've done.
Yeah.
And this is Mr. Marquies Hill on
Yeah.
Facebook. And dude, let's talk about your painting. Like, what
Yeah.
makes you decide to pick a location? What makes you decide to, okay, this is what I want to paint, and
Mhm.
how do you sell your painting? And from there, just walk us through this process.
Okay, now, like the way how now the way how that's how what I want to paint. That is the first thing that I plan in my itinerary about the side, like exactly what I'm gonna paint before I go out there. So I just look at the images online and figure out like what inspires me in my eyes, like to actually motivate me to pick this on a canvas.
Yeah.
It made it come to life. So that's the way how like how I do my painting. It's like my inspirations. It's like through traveling and like through memories, like because for me like that I really like how like really organized, like when it comes down to certain things, exactly what I want to do and how I want to do it, like like how I'm gonna paint this, like do I want to paint it this way or paint it that way. So like and the way how I sell it, like I just sell it like on the spot to people.
Okay.
And like,
And what?
oh, stop right there. Now that picture right there, that town right there, that's the first diamond mine city in
Oh,
the world, and that's in Namibia, by the way. That town is called Luderis. Okay,
Ludicrous.
it's a German town, by the way,
Hmm.
and it's the first town that actually had electricity in Africa, and it's the first town in Africa that diamonds were discovered. So it was colonized by the Germans, by the way, and they came down to southern Africa in Namibia, discovered these diamonds. So like and they had like and it was the richest town in the world for 50 years,
Wow.
just because like they had diamond mines there. So
Wow.
that's one of the histories that I had learned as well about that. But,
Now, like this picture here, like where are you here? Like I see a desert.
now that's Defle right there. Now Defle is one of the most iconic places in Namibia. It's
Uh-huh.
it's more so that right there is more so like it was a water pot, but it had dried up over the years. That's why you
Mm,
see all those trees, all those old trees that's like
yeah.
sticking out. They actually is one of the oldest trees in the world. So
Wow.
those trees is over like 50 million years old, and it's the oldest desert in the world, by the way. The oldest desert, and it's the most beautiful desert in the world. So the way how I found this location, like it was online. So I was like, whoa, I need to find a way how to get here. So I hired a tour guide, that took me around Namibia,
Hmm.
around in the desert. So I hired them, to take me around all the locations that I wanted to go and paint.
Now,
Yeah.
now, let me ask you this: how did you get to? I mean, from South Africa to this country? Like, did you fly? Did you catch a bus? Like,
Um,
how did you do this?
I took an airline there,
Okay.
and like at the airport, like your guide, your tour guide is gonna pick you up from the airport. By the way, he's gonna take you from he's gonna take you to your accommodation, and after the accommodation, like the next day, he's gonna like pick you up from your accommodation, and he's gonna like take you all around the tour. Now this was like a 12-day tour that I had booked.
Wow.
Like this is a camping tour, by the way. So like, after that, your private tour guide, like, he's gonna take you around like shopping for food and everything.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna learn how to set up a tent. So like it's pretty unique, experience, man. Like, I got along with my tour guides pretty well. They was like extremely helpful. They cooked for me. We cooked like, on the grill and everything like that. We talked and everything. We got to know each other. So it was a pretty good experience, man. Actually, this is one of my private tour guys that actually recorded me actually doing this right here. So he was with me like during the whole time during the trip.
I mean, I'm just trying to envision myself in this particular area, like to see how beautiful, like the color, because I love brown,
Yeah,
and to see all that brown and beige, I'm like, wow.
yeah, 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 man. That was a beautiful place, man. Like, I really enjoyed out there a lot. Now this place right there, like, you're gonna have to hike up a dune,
Mm.
which is about like a 45-minute hike. So yeah, so I highly recommend, like, if you like try, like, get some water, get like, so you can stay hydrated because it's pretty hot out there as well.
Where
Like,
is the dude? Do I see the ocean?
yeah, I mean, actually, that place is called Sandwich Harbor. Now,
What?
that's like the oldest sand dunes like in the world. Like, like it's actually a place that, in the desert. Why there's an ocean, like, on the side. Now that's the South Pacific,
Yeah.
right there. That's the South Atlantic. Oh,
Well, this the
right there.
Atlantic or
Yeah, that's the South Atlantic right there.
okay? Because I know South Africa, you're more on the west.
Yeah, yeah, that's the South Atlantic right there.
Wow.
So
Wow.
yeah, that was a beautiful place, man. I was like, man, I have to go out there and paint this. Like, it was pretty unique.
now, now the fact that you do this by yourself, do you get
Yeah.
lonely, or you okay being by yourself and doing these type of paintings, or
I mean, like, I totally be honest with you. Sometimes, like, you do get lonely a little bit, but like, 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 you want somebody with you or everything like that. But like,
yeah,
it's okay. Like, it's part of nature. Like, during time, like, like I do enjoy, like, having my time to myself, like,
yeah.
and creating these beautiful masterpieces, like, and like, inspiring others, like,
I mean, you definitely inspired me in a lot of ways, man. And I've
yeah.
been watching you for years, and
Hmm.
to see you do your thing in these countries, guys, it's an amazing experience. I think sometimes we forget, especially for the guys, when we travel, we focus on one thing.
Yeah, yeah,
I understand you want to party and have a good time, but sometimes, man, taking that time to be by yourself and get your thoughts together and do something that you want to do. Like if you want to go do photography, if you want to blog your experience or do a painting, do it, man. It's like you don't necessarily need to have people around you to do certain things. Like for me, I'm comfortable. I'm extremely comfortable being by myself.
yeah,
Like I don't
exactly. Like,
need
yeah,
someone to have dinner. I could go to the movies by myself. I could travel by myself. But if I do have someone, because I want you to be there, I don't need you to be there. So
yeah.
I think it's important that a lot of guys, especially a lot of men, we need to get into a place where we're okay being by ourselves and we're able to do the things that we love to do by ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. I'm the same way. I totally be honest with you. Like, I get a lot more work done when I'm alone anyway. So
Oh wow, look at this.
yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. That was Etosha National Park. It's one of the most biggest national parks, like, in Southern Africa. That's in Namibia, by the way. So I highly
Oh,
recommend like visiting there. Like, you
it's
could
not
do.
promoted. You know that place is not promoted.
Oh, oh, it's not.
No, it's not. It's not promoted as a travel destination to go
Yeah,
visit.
yeah, yeah. That
But I
was
wouldn't.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was there for 2 nights with my tour guides. So I mean, it was pretty good, good there.
Now, how were the people there? Because
Oh,
you actually met the natives there, right?
yeah, yeah. The people out there was pretty beautiful. Like, oh, actually, like, about that water pot, that about that picture.
Hmm.
So it's interesting because like all different species of animals like just come together and they just drink out of the same water pot fountain.
Hmm.
I never seen that before. It is so unique. So like they had rhinos, they had giraffes, they had elephants come together, and they just drink from the same pot. So
Wow.
it's kind of interesting. So now this is the Hebrew tribe. Now this is a tribe in Namibia. So I highly recommend like visiting this area. Like if you want to get to know like the tribe and the culture, you know. So I highly recommend visiting here. Now these ladies right here, now they actually make beads for a living. Like they actually like homemade beads. So
Mm-hmm.
they actually like make like bracelets and like necklaces and stuff like that. They actually like make their own makeup. So they take like a red rock and it's like and it's like scrape it and it's like they did some type of like some moisture and it's like that's how like they just put it on their hair and stuff like that. So that's how like they get their red hair from and everything. So it was pretty unique.
Yeah. Wow. And they actually live in here.
Yeah, they actually live there. It's pretty unique. Like for me, like this is what traveling is all about. Like
Yeah.
just like exploring, like learning like different things. Like just like you said, it's not about like about partying and everything like that. That's this is the definition of traveling for me. Like it's like learning, man.
Yeah. I mean, for me, it's like, I mean, don't get it twisted. I still could get it in and have a
Yeah,
good
exactly.
time with the
Yeah,
best of them.
yeah,
But
yeah, yeah,
I think now at this point in my life, like I
yeah,
really enjoy the essence of really learning something new and experiencing. And sometimes just taking it all in. Like I'll go to a place and just stand there and just take it all in.
yeah.
The
Yeah.
music, the culture, the smell, the
Hmm.
language. Sometimes I just sit there and just take it everything all in. Like, wow, this is a whole different experience compared to
Yeah.
what I experienced here in Atlanta.
Yeah. And let me tell you something. Like I was in a desert for 12 days with no
Wow.
Wi-Fi, no like internet service, no cell phone service. It was just like the nature, and that was it. Like the experience. Like that was pretty beautiful, man.
Yeah.
You know. Um,
Oh, I see your lodging accommodations.
yeah, yeah. That actually, that was in Santon, by the way.
Oh, Santa, I stayed in Santa too. Well, don't
Yeah,
worry,
yeah.
guys. We're gonna go back to South Africa, man. Right now, it's
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
we're just talking about some of the pictures. And guys, like he's been doing this for quite a while. Like, what countries have you been to where you actually did all these paintings for? Like, just name some countries you've been to.
um, like some countries that why I did like the most paintings at
Yeah, yeah.
actually
Because you have a list. I know that list. So go ahead and just
oh
go ahead.
well actually Australia, Thailand. What else? Like Singapore, like Malaysia. What else? Man, Paris, and I went to Portugal. I went to Germany, and what else I went to? Man, damn. It was plenty of them. So,
So again, guys, this guy,
yeah, that-
this man has been around the world, not just to South America or to the Caribbean islands, around the world, man. And
yeah,
I've
yeah,
been
yeah,
watching him for
yeah.
quite
That's
some
one of my
time.
German friends.
Look at this, man. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That was in Paris. Like that's the Arc de Triomphe right there. That's when I was in Germany. That's when I was in Stockholm. Yeah, that's Stockholm right there.
Where's this? Oh, it's
That
Stockholm. It's Sweden.
yeah, that's Stockholm Sweden right there. That's still Stockholm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, typically, when people see you paint, like, what's their first perception? Like, do they normally come up and talk to you? Like, how's that experience is when you out there painting? People watching you paint, do they come interact? Do they ask you questions? Do they interfere? Like, how's that
Yeah.
experience is?
I mean, well, like they just asked me questions like, where I'm from. They was like, wow, like, like they're pretty amazed, like, what I do. They was like, wow, because they never seen nothing like this before. Especially like, me as being black, from America. They was like, wow, we never seen somebody that's like you actually doing something completely different. You see, you
Yeah.
understand? Oh yeah. So that's what inspires them, like really, like
Nah, this is beautiful, man. I mean,
yeah.
again,
That's in
but
Australia right there.
now this guy purchased your artwork, right?
Yeah, like that was like 500 Australian dollar.
And how much is that in American dollars?
It was like 450 or something like that in American dollar.
Wow.
So, yeah,
$500 for this.
yeah,
Woo! Man.
Actually, I sold that to him on the same day that I had painted it.
Wow.
That was in Australia, same day.
I have not been to Australia, man. That's one of the
At
places
Australia,
I want to go.
tidal pools. So like, I highly recommend visiting there. I know you don't like swimming, so like, I mean, I'm pretty sure I won't recommend that to you. So a tidal pool, it's actually like a pool it's built in the ground that's go like over the ocean, towards the ocean. So it's pretty unique, man.
I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
good.
So
I'm
that's it.
good.
That's in Sydney. Well, like while I was on the ferry, that's still Australia. That's me.
Yeah, man. You've been around, bro.
Australia.
You've been around, man. So let's take it back to and the guys, I'm gonna post his Facebook page. You guys want to connect with him, man? Feel free to do that. Again, guys, he's an interesting character. I've been a big fan of his work for over 4 years. I've been following you or something like that.
Yeah.
And every time he's traveling, man, I'm like encouraging him, like, yo, go ahead, do it, man, do it, do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Record your experience, man. He's like, people need to see this. Start a YouTube channel,
Yeah.
because I think you have an amazing story to share, and I think a
Yeah.
lot of us need to see it because when they think of a black man traveling now with the whole Passport Bros situation, they think we're all traveling for one thing, and
Yeah,
that's not always
exactly.
the case.
That's
And it's
not
like a
always
lot
that.
of
Yeah.
us are traveling to really learn and explore and do different things, but it's being overshadowed due to a lot of the F shit that's happening on social media. So we need more brothers like you to go out
Yeah.
there and really change the narrative of how a black man is and how we conduct ourselves.
Yeah, because like for me, like my mission is like I want to bring something to the world, like that's never been done before, especially like from like an actual average black man. You see,
Yeah,
like that's like you said, like we just like we stereotype just to travel for one thing, like, and that's not true. Like we don't travel for one thing, and
correct.
that's exactly what I want to bring to the world. Like like it's not about women. Like like I don't travel for women. Like I travel for my art. You see, that's the reason
Hmm.
why I travel the world for it. Not only that, but I travel in the U.S. as well. I just came from Boston about a year ago, and like and I had the best time in Boston, and I highly recommend visiting Boston. It's one of my favorite cities.
Yeah.
And actually, like when I was in a nightclub, I actually made out with 4 different women that night, and it's actually a U.S. city, you see,
Yeah.
and I
Right.
still had an amazing time.
Look, I'm gonna tell you this, man. Look, I've been to at least over 40 cities in the United States, and I had some amazing, great time. Dude, I had great time in the sticks, in
Yeah,
Iowa, Nebraska. Dude, I had a
yeah,
killing good time. I
yeah,
mean,
man.
ooh, my single days during the late '90s, early 2000s, man, in those areas, Ohio, man, bro, being from Miami, too easy. But
Yeah,
again,
okay,
guys, you can have a good time. You can explore in anywhere you go. Just be
yeah,
mindful how you move. That's it.
yeah. Because when I was in South Africa, I met these 3 women that was on Table Mountain. It was hiking. It was like so I met them with them. They was like, wow, like you hike way up here just to do a painting. That was like, wow, like most of us like we don't appreciate the nature
Yeah,
that our country has to offer. And I told them the same way. I was like, wow, there's a lot of Americans that America for granted. They don't
yeah.
appreciate the nature that America has to offer.
I can't
So
say this.
that's
I can't say this enough, man. People don't realize how beautiful the United States is, man.
yeah, that's
Like
exactly.
I've been to West Virginia, man. As much West Virginia get a lot of slack about being a hick town and all this stuff, whatever. Oh, it's a beautiful state, dude. If you driving through West Virginia, man, the views across that mountains. I mean, it's just beautiful, man. It's like
That's
Ohio's flat, Illinois is flat, but once you
yeah.
get into the that West Virginia, Carolina area, man, I'm like, damn, this is nice. Pennsylvania up there,
hmm Yeah, that's why I
man.
say even here in Montana, like I live in Montana right now in the mountains. Like it's pretty beautiful out here. Like I really love
Yeah,
it out here. I was like, wow, man, like beautiful mountains, like beautiful scenery. That's why like I didn't mind the safari tour. I was on
yeah,
like when I was in Cougar National Park. Have you heard of Cougar National Park? Cougar
yes.
National
Not
Park
never
is
been.
Cougar National Park is located in South Africa, and it's the biggest national park in Southern Africa. So I highly recommend like doing a safari tour, like maybe it's like 2 or 3 days, You know, you can just sit back and relax. You know, without no
It's very
Wi-Fi.
costly though. Just keep
It's
in
very
mind, Mark.
costly.
It's very
Yeah,
costly.
yeah, it's
Those
very
those, those
costly. It's very
tours,
cheap.
yeah. Like I would say, if you're gonna do a safari tour, just do a 1 day tour.
Maybe, well, yeah,
Or
maybe like one day.
yeah, do that. Now, if you want to stay out there, you got to pay for lodging and everything else. It's going to
Yeah,
cost you some
exactly.
money.
Yeah, exactly. You know, but like for me, I stayed out there for 5 days, but like it was worth it though. It was beautiful. Like there's no Wi-Fi, there's no like no cell phone service. It's just you and the nature, like So I highly recommend like doing the safari, like
I totally agree with that. So now we're going back to South Africa, Johannesburg. Did you visit Johannesburg or?
Yes, I did. Now
I would.
let me tell you about Johannesburg.
Yeah,
Johannesburg had to be one of my favorite cities. Now,
yeah. Me too. Me too.
now, there was this stereotype that was going around like, oh my God, you go to Johannesburg, you're gonna get robbed, you gonna get. Now,
Yeah,
let me tell you something. Now, I will pick Johannesburg like Chicago. Have you been to Chicago, Canal? Let me ask you
yeah.
something.
I lived in Chicago for 10 years.
Okay, now there's this town in Chicago called the South Side. You know not to
Yes.
visit. You know when you go to Chicago, you know not to go to the South Side, right?
Well. It depends what part of the South Side. If you go to the
Oh,
the
yeah,
Wild
yeah,
Hundreds, the
yeah, yeah,
South Side, you're okay. But if you go to Hyde Park
yeah,
or you go to
yeah.
Brownsville, you'll be all right.
It's the exact same thing when it comes like to Johannesburg.
Yeah.
There are certain areas that you should avoid not going to. But if you avoid these areas in
Yeah.
Johannesburg, then you will be okay in Johannesburg. Okay? Now I know exactly where these areas.
Well, I'll say this, Marcus. You know what? Look, I put myself in this situation. I think I shared this story before in the past.
Yeah.
I decided to go to a strip club one night.
And it's a Hillsborough. I know exactly where that strip club. It's called the
Yeah,
Summit. So now on
yeah,
my tour, I was telling me that. So I was like, he said this is
yeah,
one of the most dangerous areas in
yeah.
Johannesburg.
But
So
man, bro, listen, man. I had to go to the strip club. I mean, every country I go to, I hit a strip club, man. I'm being keeping
uh,
it real. So I hit
you
up the
said
strip club.
so now I heard that now it's really heavy out there when it comes to the taxi drivers and the Uber drivers.
That, that's
They
what
are beefing out there.
Well,
So
that's where my story is leading up to.
but
I
yeah,
went to Hillsborough late at night, just after, I said, hey, you know what? I'm not sleepy. I'm gonna go hit the strip club, whatever. Went to this point in particular, had a great time, and as I was leaving, I ordered an Uber. So I'm waiting outside for the Uber, and the Uber comes, but I see a guy running towards me,
hmm
and I'm like, okay, why the guy's running towards me? And he picked up a brick. The Uber guy like rolled down his window like, bro, get in the car. I jump in the car. The guy, the
hmm
African guy
damn.
that was running towards me with the brick through the window. He was a taxi driver. Obviously, I didn't know there was a beef war between taxis and Ubers.
Yeah, because
So
because like my private tour guide told me, like he said, like if you in Johannesburg, do not book an Uber in front of a taxi rank.
yeah, I
Do
didn't know that.
not. That's what he told me. I was like, wow. I said, so it is true. Like I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
it
damn.
is true because I was attacked, and lucky for me, the brick didn't hit me, but it did go through the window, and we ended up going to the police station. Again, guys, this is 5 a.m. I'm
Mhm.
like, what the hell? But then I learned, like, okay, if you're gonna order Uber, make sure you're not around taxis. So I
Yeah,
learned my
exactly.
lessons. But yeah, man, I would say Johannesburg is one of the best cities that I've ever been to. Like far as nightlife, things to do, things to see, people, food,
Yeah.
the nightlife. I think it's one of the best. I
I
think
get
it's one of the best.
and it's a lot to do in the city. I highly recommend Rosebank as well. Rosebank is one of the most nicest cities.
Hmm.
Santon, that's the area that I stayed in. It was pretty nice there as well. So I highly recommend staying in those two areas. Like there's a lot to do in those two areas. Like you'll have a good time. I highly recommend this place called the Saint. It's pretty beautiful. Like
Okay.
the nightlife is great. They got a bar and they got like a nightclub, like like a lounge bar inside of it. So I highly recommend visiting that place. Nice
I've
food.
been to so many nightclubs out there, lounge scenes that I don't remember the names, but I had a great
Mhm.
time. Every place that I went to, as far as the nightlife, it was great.
Yeah.
I mean, it was one place that I went to. I bought 2 bottles of Jack, man. Dude, my bill came
hmm
up to like $100.
hmm
I'm like,
yeah.
are you serious? I gave the waitress a tip. I gave her a $20 tip. She was so happy. I'm like, damn. I
hmm
guess people don't tip. So when I
Yeah.
gave her the tip, it's like, this for you. She's like, you sure? It's like, you don't need no change. Like, nah, this is for you.
Okay,
And go
okay,
ahead.
yeah. Okay, now, like, I highly recommend, like, tipping in South Africa. Now, tipping in South Africa is really, like, it's like, it's really appreciated there
Yeah,
because, like, the currency is not that high. So I highly recommend, like,
I
they
agree.
really do appreciate tips there. So, like, you could give them anything, like, they will appreciate it. Like, maybe you give them, like, 10 Rand, you could give them, like, 50 Rand, 20 Rand, they'll be okay with it. Like, just give them something, you know.
Hey, what was the currency conversion for you?
Like, for me, $100, it was about maybe by like maybe like $5 US, I think.
Wait, say that again?
So like the conversion rate, you mean like the exchange
Yeah, because
rate?
like for me, dude, from at the time I
Yeah,
was there, a $1 gave me at least 21 of their dollars.
yeah, it was something like that. Yeah, because like $100, like for me, it was about like at least about like $5, like $4 or $5 for just for
Yeah,
100.
yeah. So for because I remember I exchanged some money.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
gave me a lot of money. I'm
yeah, yeah,
like shit. I got to spend all this money, and I
yeah.
went out and spent it, man. And I had a good time, bro. Trust me. Every night I was popping bottles.
Hmm.
Um, I was living the good life, man. And people were trying to figure out who the hell I was. I was like, shit, man, dude. I had a budget, and the thing is, I was within my budget. I was within my budget, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna be here for 21 days. I want to go out there and have a good time. But I didn't realize how cheap and affordable. I don't want to say cheap. I didn't realize how affordable South Africa was at the time. This is 2018. Keep in mind, um, I was living like a king.
Yeah,
Like, bro, I was like, okay, I can spend. Like, this is the
hmm
place that I was staying in. And this is Johannesburg, guys. This is South
hmm
Africa. When I
hmm
walk in, it's funny that the people in South Africa talk with that clicking sound. So whenever they spoke to me, I heard that clicking sound when
yeah, yeah.
I was like, man, I was always smiling when I heard it. And I
Yeah.
had a doorman, I had a doorman open the door for me all the time. I'm like, okay,
Hmm.
white glove
Well,
service. I'm like, okay. So this is my view from my place in
yeah.
Johannesburg, man. And
Hmm.
this place was nice, man. This place was
So,
super
well,
nice.
what area you were staying at, Johannesburg? You were
I
staying
don't
in
even
Sandton?
remember, man.
Uh,
I don't even remember, man. All I know, I saw a deal, I
yeah.
took it, and that when I came in, I was like, wow, this place is huge. Like all this for me. This bed right here was like a king size. I had
Hmm.
like an infinity tub. Then I had
Hmm.
the shower, bro. It was just like, damn, I didn't know South Africa was like this.
I mean, yeah,
Um,
like you'll get some good accommodations, like for really cheap, like for sure.
yeah,
So I mean, when I was yeah, because like my house was pretty nice too. Like I had like a glass shower and everything. It was pretty nice.
yeah,
You know, I mean, like you'll have a really good like security community as well. Like you have a guard that's like that can open up the gate for you. The one that
yep.
I was staying at,
And the thing is, I stayed in two places because I did spend a couple of days in Santon.
Okay.
So now, guys, this what you're seeing here is it's Ojito. I
Hmm.
actually did a tour out there. I didn't want to go home. It was still early, so you know what? Let me just hang out here. And this was my driver, my Uber driver. I told him, hey, listen, are you in a rush? He said, no. I was like, well, hey, just come chill with me, have a couple of drinks. He's like, all right, cool. So, and it's just like we just hung out, talked. He talked about the food and everything else. But, bro, at nighttime, man, this place got live. Because I told him, like, bro, I ain't trying to go. And it's like, hey, well, I'm an Uber driver. It's like, listen, I'll just pay for the rest of the day. And he's like, all right, cool. Gave him $50. I was like, hey, listen, you just be my driver. And he
Yeah.
showed me around, and he was literally my bodyguard. Wherever we went, man, he was like, hey,
Well, yeah.
he made sure he took care of everything.
Yeah.
And
So
again,
that's what
guys,
yeah.
you go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I did. Like, when I hired my private tour guy, like he
Mhm.
took me to the Nelson Mandela house.
Yeah.
Do you know Nelson Mandela had two houses?
Well,
He
this
had
is one of his houses here.
yeah, that's one of his houses. That's the houses that he got arrested at,
Yeah.
when they picked him up. And he also got another house that he actually died in.
Okay. Yeah, I
So
figured.
that was another house.
Okay. Yeah. So I paid the guy. Yo, listen, man, I don't want to go back into the city yet. I want to stay out here. I want to just party out here. And
Hmm.
dudes, I was able to party there with the locals. People didn't know who the like until I spoke. they didn't know anything, but they kind of all asked him where you're from,
Yeah,
and it was
yeah,
just
you
like,
know.
Miami. But this spot right here, you can actually bungee jump here.
Yeah, yeah, that's why. Yeah, that's what my tour guide was telling me. Yeah, you can actually, but you have to book in advance.
Yeah, yeah, they really big on meats, man. They eat a lot of meat. This
Yeah, yeah.
this white stuff here is fufu. Like I
Okay,
forget what forget it's like a chewy white thing. You
okay.
with the fingers, man.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So, and again, dude, when I say, "Ooh, the eye candy,"
Yeah,
oh
yeah,
my goodness, man.
yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah, yeah.
like, man,
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
I
they have some the beautiful women out there too.
man, dude, look, I'm gonna say this, man.
Okay.
Johannesburg got some stunners, man. I
Yeah,
I put South Africa over Brazil any day.
yeah. Same
And
here.
people,
Like,
you know what? People could go ahead and debate me. All I'll put South Africa, like far as women, like just body types and just the vibe.
yeah.
I'll put it over I'll put it over DR. I'll put it over Brazil, over Colombia. Again, you guys don't need to believe me, man. I'm going by just the vibe, the energy, even the body types, man. I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah, I actually been to Brazil, like, so I know, like, like I feel the same way, like,
So would you
I,
pick would you pick Brazil? Oh, okay. I wouldn't say. Would you pick Brazil over South Africa?
no, I'll pick South Africa over Brazil. No, because like, in my opinion, I think Cape Town is a better city than Rio, in my opinion.
Oh hell yeah. Oh yeah, dude. I mean, Cape Town will
because
overshade Rio,
yeah,
and you don't have to
because
worry
like
about someone trying to rob you either.
like like, if I had a choice, like they say like if you want to go back to Rio, if you want to go back to Cape Town, I said I'll go back to Cape
Cape
Town.
Town,
I'll go back.
Cape Town. Let's go back to Cape Town.
I
It's just
mean,
so
like
much. Listen, South Africa, you can speak English, so I don't have to worry about trying to use translate.
exactly.
That's the one thing I'll pick over it. Just the fact that I don't have to speak Portuguese, I can speak English.
Yeah,
Two, there's so much to do there.
yeah,
Like you don't need to just be stuck on the beach. You can still go to the beach, but also you can still go into the city.
hmm
And I mean, then if you want to go see some animals, you could go ahead and do that. If you want to see some baddies, you can go see that. I mean, it's so like South Africa has so much variety that people don't know about, but the fact that people don't take a chance to take that trip, because when I flew from Atlanta to Johannesburg, I had to fly to London, and from London to Johannesburg, it was about
oh,
27 hours for me.
okay. Now, like my layover, like I had an 8 hour layover in Dubai, so
Yeah.
I flew from JFK all the way to Dubai, which it was 8 hours.
Hmm.
It was an 8 hour layover in Dubai, but like it was 14 hours from JFK to Dubai. Then after that it was another it was about 12 hours from Dubai all the way to South Africa.
Now you see this lion eating this damn zebra leg, right?
Yeah, yeah. Now, come on. Let me ask you something. Do you think the Lions is a little overrated?
Yeah, they are extremely overrated.
Now, the reason why I said this because like they are the most boringest animals to
Yeah,
watch
they are. They
in
are.
the entire jungle. Because like during the day, all they do is just sleep and they just lay there all day.
You know what the thing is too? You don't realize they're not as big as people think they are. A tiger is
They're not that
bigger.
big of
A
animals.
tiger is bigger than a lion.
Because let me tell you something, like the elephants it's more exciting to look at than the lions. The leopards are more excited to look at than the lions. The baboons are more excited to look at than the lion. And the reason why I say this is because they actually do things. These guys, they don't do anything.
Yeah, yeah, they don't do anything,
Let
man.
me tell you
They
something. If you study the lion, the male lion doesn't even hunt his own food. The female lion does all the killing and all the hunting. But
yeah.
keep that in mind. Like, the female lion does all the hunting and the killing, not the male lion. The male lion doesn't become all that aggressive like that. It all depends on what type of mood that he's in.
Now,
If you come across a female lion, I highly recommend like your life is more in danger because
yeah,
like she will come off more aggressive.
I agree. And one thing, guys, just to get back on topic, when you go to South Africa, you got to dress to impress.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
You can't go there with some socks and sandals and and jersey shorts. Nah,
Mm-hmm.
That's something about South Africa, man. Fashion is everything. So I had to make sure, and
Yes.
of course, I've done my research. So this, this is me coming, making sure I'm all fitted, to go out and party for the night, man. Guys, you got to take pride in how you look and how you smell, because again, these wrong assumption that Africa's this is like they're behind. No, no, they're not. I saw Maseratis, Range Rovers, Bentley trucks, saw all that stuff, man.
Yeah.
And
Same here.
there's money out there, man. And
Yeah.
it's just like, whoa, okay, yeah, my little salary can't pay none of this shit. But
Yeah.
yeah, you got to come correct, man, guys. So if you're going to South Africa, man, look, nighttime, you got to come clean. Like it's like just like you going out in Chicago, going out in Atlanta, you just got to come correct, man.
Yeah, because I was at a dinner table called the bungalow. Now,
Yeah,
like it was the server that I had met. Now this is in South Africa in Cape Town, by the way. Now, she was actually like where you from? I said from America. I was like, wow, what are you doing way out here? She's like, well, I'm just working on some projects, just exploring. She's like, well, if you're not doing anything over the weekend, I could come join you. I was like, yeah, sure. So like we talked, we exchanged information and everything like that. So it was pretty cool, man. So after that, we went to Signal Hill. We watched the sunrise, from the mountain. It was pretty
yeah,
nice. And after that, we went kayaking together. So it was pretty unique. Like we took some pictures, like from Table Mountain. It was pretty nice. And after that, like she just gave me a kiss goodnight. And she paid for her own transportation, by the way.
they
She
take
paid,
pride. They
yeah,
take pride on for them to show their independence.
yeah,
They're going through their own movement with women rights and everything else. So a lot
yeah,
of them do
yeah,
take pride in going to college. A lot of them do take pride and becoming independent. So if you guys trying to look for that that feminine you know submissive whatever, you're not going to find that in South Africa, because trust me, they've been doing that for hundreds of years, and they're
hmm
now fighting for rights to work. They're fighting for rights to pay for their own shit. So I say go there with a progressive mindset, still
hmm
be a gentleman. They love that. Go out there and just be a good person, man. This is where I
yeah,
stayed in Santon. I stayed here in Santon, man.
yeah. Okay.
And it's funny. I was walking from because the mall, the Santon Mall, was like a block away from me. So I walked back to this place, and everybody's looking at me like, "Are you supposed to be in this neighborhood?" And I'm
Okay.
like, "Yeah, I'm staying over here." It's like because I got stopped, and
Okay.
but
Yeah.
it was some black Africans, and it was just like, okay, where you from, and all asking these questions, like, bro, like they heard that they heard my American accent, and it was just like, look,
Yeah.
I'm staying at so and so place. I showed a picture on my phone, and
Uh-huh.
they say okay, and they let me go, and they saw me, and they still they watch me, and I'm like, all right, they watch
Okay.
me.
Now there's this town called Swigo or something like that, and like
Hmm.
in Johannesburg. Now it's where the upper class rich blacks live in.
Okay,
So like and my tour guide took me there. He's like, like all rich black people like live here. Like, this is like,
okay.
where the black people make money, a lot of money. I was like, okay. Well, it's a pretty nice area, by the way.
This is the Santa Mall right here,
Oh yeah, yeah, that's where
and
I was
this
at.
yeah, this is the statue of Mandela.
Mandela, yeah.
Yeah, and where I was staying was a block away. I could literally walk to my place.
Yeah. I highly recommend visiting that area too. That has a lot to do there. Like,
Yeah,
nice restaurants, nice bars,
I mean,
yeah,
again, if Johannesburg has so much to, again, granted, there's
yeah,
some bad areas, but
yeah,
if you
yeah,
know
yeah.
where you're going, you'll be all right. Now, this spot right here,
Yeah, exactly.
dude, I had a blast here,
Yeah.
bro. This place was popping, man. The food, the drinks, the music. This is where I got my first time getting exposed to Afro beats, and I'm like,
Uh-huh.
damn, I never heard this type of music before. This 2018, so I
Afrobeats
didn't,
that
huh?
the African music is like it was dope, like that I was listening to. Like, I like the beat and I like the tone of the music that I was listening to, and when I was in Africa, when I was into the African music out there. It was pretty nice, man.
Yeah, this is where I got my first exposure to Afro beats. And
Yeah.
now they have their own version of music. But man, when I say this place get live, the energy, the festive, it was great, man. Like
Hmm.
this is something I would never forget. And this drink right here will put you on your ass.
Hmm.
I had like at least six of these.
Yeah, yeah.
And man, it would just sneak up on you. And
I,
so when I say affordable, it's
uh-huh.
crazy.
Actually, I had one of those before, but it wasn't at a bar. It was like one of those farmers market. That's what I had one of those.
And again, these are some of the lounges that I was hitting up, man. Just having a good
Yeah,
time. Dude, again, I'm buying drinks. I'm buying like, dude, it was so affordable, man. I'm like, man, this is not bad. Now I see why. If you got money in
hmm
Africa, why leave?
yeah.
Don't make any sense to leave that country, man. It's just like, I mean, leave that continent. And of course, I had to dry my clothes outside. Shout out to the Taylor gang. Chuck Taylor's out there. And of course, I had to have some wine. This is my little spot. So it's just, dude, just having a good time, man. Now this is area in downtown Monabin. You've been to this area in Johannesburg, right? Have you been there? I think I lost you. You're frozen, Marcus. Anyway, guys, this spot right here was really cool, man. Maybe I could just play the sound for you.
Huh.
Yeah, was a live performance. Oh, yeah. And again, the food was good, man. I could say that South Africa has some of the best food that I had besides Thailand. Thailand comes second. Thailand just got amazing food, but South Africa, there has all type of meats, man. If you want more of the gaming meats, like eating like ostrich or springboks or other wild animals, you can actually do that as well. So I really had my share of different type of meats while in Johannesburg. And it's some of the live performance that was
Yeah,
out there.
I'm back. Look.
Yeah, we lost you a little bit, but I was just going through
Okay,
the
yeah.
videos, man. Some of the performance that was
Okay,
out there.
yeah.
Great experience, man. Great experience. I highly recommend South Africa. If this is your first trip to ever go to the continent of Africa, go
Yeah,
to South Africa, man. It's a must experience. Now, you wanted to
yeah,
say something?
yeah. Because South Africa, like it's the easiest Africa country to visit because like you don't got to worry about like taking no yellow fever shots.
No.
You don't got to worry about like waiting for like a visa because most of like like Ghana or like Kenya, you need visas like to go there. Like I don't know how long the visa process will take, and but I heard like it takes a while to get it. So like that's why I say like like this picks like one of the easiest countries like South Africa first because like you don't have to worry about getting no visa, no yellow fever shots. Like it's easy. All you got to do is book a ticket, get your passport, and that's about it.
Yeah, man. I really enjoyed watching this guy dance, man. He
Oh
was
yeah.
in the zone, man. I'm like,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, they really got some nice performers, like out there too, man. I really enjoyed it.
And you know what? It's sad that here in the United States we forgot the love to dance. Like now, dance
Yeah,
clubs, any places, people don't dance anymore. But
yeah,
whenever I go overseas, I'm constantly dancing. So here in South
yeah.
Africa, dude, I was dancing every night. And
hmm
people do not care what you look like. They just want to see you have a great time. But
hmm
here, within the United States, you can't even go out and dance anymore. You can't even sweat,
Yeah,
and
that's.
it's just like we kind of lost that will to have fun.
hmm
Oh yeah, your brother did have a little smoke. One thing to keep in mind, South Africa, it is legal, so
Yeah.
I was able to get someone rolled me up a little special tree,
Okay.
and I had some with the wild animals,
Okay.
had a
Yeah.
good time. So hey, man. Yeah, man. But great experience, great experience, great experience, man. So, man, hey, anything
Yeah.
else you want to share about Johannesburg based on your experience?
Sure about Johannesburg. Let me see. No, I think I covered everything. Like and just like Johannesburg, like it is a nice city to visit. It's a beautiful city to visit. But if you just plan your itinerary right and like and know exactly where to go, you will be fine in Johannesburg.
Yep.
So
And
I highly recommend visiting there. But you just gotta plan your itinerary really good, like exactly where to go. Like
And one thing to keep in mind, I didn't know it was your birthday during that time.
yeah, actually, this is in Namibia. So like my tour guide, like they plan like like a special like get around a little bit,
Hmm.
like so they gave me like a birthday cake or something like that. So like these African women, they just said like they saw happy birthday to me, like
So I'm gonna go ahead and play this, man. Happy. Oh,
yeah,
by the way, happy birthday, man.
yeah. I just turned 37. I don't know. I don't look
37,
like it.
dude. You don't look 37.
Yeah, but I know, but like,
But you know
I'm getting
what?
up there.
Hey, it's amazing, man. Black don't crack, but also too
Yeah,
take
yeah,
care of your health, man. Because the thing
yeah,
is,
yeah,
if you're planning to travel the world, you want to be in good health standing.
yeah. That's
You
why,
know.
like like take care of yourself.
Well, hey, I'm gonna play this. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, brother.
Well, yeah, thanks, sir.
Man, but yeah, man, dude, it's been an hour and a half, and
Hmm.
we want to talk about South Africa. Now, I could talk about some of the other things because,
Yeah.
at the time I was single when I was out there, so I was doing some shit.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'm married, man, so I'm with the wife to
Yeah.
put me in punishment or whatever.
Okay.
But how was your dating experience? Because you are a single man. Did you able to date and experience that nightlife, meeting women while you're there while traveling? Like, how was that experience for you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Actually, I went out on a date with one of my tour guides. Like like she was a woman, like in Namibia. So like
Okay.
during the last day, we had a good time. Like we ate, we talked, and everything like that. So that was a good experience. Also, I met a woman on Clifton Beach. Like she was pretty nice. I went on a date with her.
I've been
We
to Clifton
exchanged
Beach.
information. Yeah, Clifton Beach is one of the most beautiful beaches. Like I highly recommend visiting there.
Yeah. Actually, did you see the picture that I showed you? I was dressed up like Santa Claus.
Oh yeah, remember like like you was doing it for kids, right?
Yeah, yeah, man. They saw me like, hey, would you be Mr. Christmas for us? I'm like, sure.
Yeah.
So I had to
Um.
go in and put the whole Santa Claus outfit on for the kids.
Okay. And you was at like 80s like color cabins, right? They have.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I was there.
Actually, I painted that beach by the way. That the beach that you was on, I painted that by the way.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, it's on my Facebook. Uh.
Let me see where I can find that picture. Okay, here it is right here.
Hmm.
Uh, there you go. Look, there me right there.
Hold on. I can't really see it. That's okay.
I'm sharing the screen. Can you see it?
Nah, I don't see nothing. Yeah, now I see it now. You see it now. Now I see it.
Yeah. So yeah, this is me right here, man, with the kids.
Okay, nice. Okay.
Yeah. So it's like they told me to dress up like Santa Claus.
Uh-huh.
They were happy, man, because they're like I'm so big compared to them. They're like, okay, it's a black Santa Claus here.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And it's beautiful, man. It's a beautiful beach, man. Like honestly, Clifton Beach is a spot that you bring a girl, bring your, a picnic table, bring a couple of bottle of wines and just chill out.
Yeah, yeah.
Because the vibe there is so chill, man. I'm like, man, this is real nice, man.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But yeah, man, this is me dressed up as Santa Claus.
Hmm.
And this was an amazing experience. Honestly, this was the highlight of my trip, man. The fact that I was able to these kids are orphanage. These kids stay in an orphanage. And
Yeah,
so, when the lady was to explain to me, these kids were, need to be adopted and everything else, man. I'm like, wow.
hmm,
So they gave me some bag of toys. So what I did, I had some cash in my pocket, man. I gave all the
yeah,
teachers money, like, hey,
hmm,
Merry Christmas. And dude, I spent the whole day with the kids.
yeah,
Spent the whole day with them, and just see, we're issuing out toys now. So I'm saying, what's up? Give me high five, because they kept saying high five. So I was giving high five, and bro, this was the
yeah,
highlight of my trip, man. I
yeah, yeah,
I can't say this enough, man. I understand. I can't tell another man how to move or whatever. What he does, with his own experience and his own time and money, that's
yeah,
on him. But guys, man, there's more to life than just chasing after ass.
yeah.
If you could go out
Exactly.
there and make an impact and volunteer while you're traveling, make a difference, do that, man. Because trust me, we're blessed.
Hmm.
We're blessed. And one thing I always tell people is you don't see poverty until you leave this country.
Hmm.
Like I went to a couple of shanty towns in South Africa. Man, I mean, like our projects here is Beverly Hills to them.
Hmm.
So again, I can't tell another man how to live his life or what he does on his travel experience, but man, we are not the same.
Yeah, because like I actually like visit a slum as well. Like when I was in
Yeah,
Johannesburg, like the way how like how they live, like they actually like like wash their clothes
yeah,
in like in the big old puddle, like like a
yeah.
big old puddle, like a big old puddle, a bucket, like so like and it's pretty rough out there for them as well. Like they barely have any electricity. Like they cook on like like hot plates or something like that. They barely have, like like what's those they called, like like get one of those gas links,
I get it.
like
I understand. I
yeah,
seen it. I
yeah,
seen it. They call it shanty towns,
yeah.
and I've been to one in Cape Town. I've been to one in Johannesburg, and
Yeah, the picture's actually on my Facebook, by the way. Like because I had took a pictures of like of the slums. If you could
well,
find it, if you go on my Facebook, you can
they
find
made
it.
it clear to me, don't take no pictures.
Yeah, well,
I was in it.
well,
They'll give me a tour. They're like, no pictures.
well,
So
they was okay with me. Like you could take pictures, like So I actually like donated them some money as well. Like
okay, okay.
I actually tipped them as well. Like
Yeah, guys. We are blessed to be in a position for us to do the things that we love to do. The fact that we're able to get on a plane and go
yeah,
and experience another person's country and culture, that's the blessing experience. Not too many Americans who have well-paying jobs could do what we do.
yeah. Because like when I was in South Africa, like I was like connected with the locals down there. They was like it's really hard for us, like to travel to different countries
Yeah,
because their currency is not that strong like
yeah,
ours. So like so that's why I told like Americans, like we really take things for granted
we do.
out there. Like like they really don't appreciate the life that like like the of things that's rare. Like it's like offered to us. Like that's like in front of us.
Yeah. So again, guys, there's a lot of things to see and do outside the US, but
Hmm.
there's still a lot of things to do here within the United States. So just get out the house, man. Stop
Hmm.
living through social media.
Yeah.
There's a lot of experience that we could go out there and experience, and start painting, start blogging, start taking photos, start doing something that you have an interest in doing because, dude, you have your life. You have your health. Just recently, did you guys hear about Randy Moss being diagnosed with liver cancer?
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, guys, man, health is wealth. I mean, make sure you take care of yourself. Make sure you out there living the life that you want to live. Anything
Yeah.
that you want to do, go ahead and fucking do it. No one can stop you from you doing what you want to do. And also, you don't need to have a person in your life to do the things that you want to do. So,
Yeah.
Marcus, man, we're gonna close it out, man. Any last word you want to share with the audience, man? Because again, you just got back from South Africa. What is your next travel destinations where you plan to go next to?
Actually, like I already don't know yet. I haven't decided. Like but like my next trip is probably gonna be something small, maybe like Mexico or something like that.
Okay.
Maybe like because I don't want to like go fight farther out. But like for me, like when I get my second passport, like I'm gonna start doing some more like weekend warrior trips. Maybe like maybe I might take a trip like to the Bahamas or well, like Hawaii
Okay.
for a couple of
Yeah.
days or do something like that. Do something small, like maybe like I might go to Costa Rica for a few days or something like that,
Yeah.
or maybe I might go to Panama or
People
something
don't
like that.
realize like people don't realize that taking those short weekend trips
Yeah,
are more deserving because sometimes you don't realize how much you need that break and you don't need a
yeah,
long
yeah,
break. 3 days is more than enough.
yeah,
And depending how, like for me, living in Atlanta and flying out of Miami most often, I have access to the entire Central and Caribbean areas. If I want to go to Colombia, it's only like what 3.5 hours from Miami. If I want to
yeah,
go to Panama or Costa Rica, it's like like 3 hours.
yeah, yeah,
Mexico City was about 4 hours. So again, if I want to be gone for the next 3 days, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, come back Monday, I could do that.
yeah, exactly. So now
So
I'm gonna start doing that more often, like
yeah,
starting next year, like do some more like weekend warrior. type
Yeah,
trips, like
there's nothing wrong being a weekend warrior.
oh, yeah, yeah. Maybe I just
Yeah,
like just wanted to get away, like
yeah,
just for a few
and we
days,
all
like
need that, man.
yeah,
Like
yeah, that's it.
for me, those days are over. If
Yeah,
I got to
yeah,
do that, I got to bring the whole entire family with me. But
yeah,
it is what it is. I lived a life. I lived an amazing travel life. Been to so many countries, man. Uh, now I'm blogging my experiences. Just written my first ebook on Cuba.
hmm
So I'm working on
yeah.
Brazil, Thailand, and South Africa. Those are the three next ebooks I'm scheduled to launch.
Okay. Oh, no, I want to ask you something.
Yeah.
Because my private tour guide was telling me that Marquise, the itineraries, the way how you write your itineraries, you can actually like sell it to people.
Yeah, you
So
can.
I want to know how much is it worth though? The if the piece of paper that you can write down for people, like how much will it be worth? How much can you sell it to somebody?
All right, I'm gonna share something with you.
Okay.
I just launched this ebook, and this ebook has
Uh-huh.
my itinerary in it. It has the itinerary I
Uh-huh.
did for Cuba.
Okay.
I just dropped the link, and I'm
Okay.
gonna share my screen. 1 second. All right, this is
Yeah.
my ebook, right?
Okay.
I just
Uh-huh.
launched it, and this ebook is about 11 pages. This gives you all the links, all the places that I've been to, places that
Okay.
I could vouch on, but also too, it has a 4-day itinerary
Okay.
within the ebook.
Okay.
So you could actually, it shows some of my pictures that I've been there, but the real information is the itinerary. So
Okay.
when
Yeah.
when you buy it, so far I had 5 people buy my ebook already, and I just launched it 2 days ago.
Okay.
And
And
yeah, man, and it's just like, again, I have the itinerary in there. So
yeah.
within this 11-page ebook, there's the itinerary. So I'm giving you a breakdown on each day. This is what you need to do.
hmm
So for someone that's going to Havana, Cuba for the first time, I'm literally giving you the blueprint. Like, hey,
Yeah.
just follow this. You follow this, you're gonna have a good time.
Yeah.
Now, if you
Because
just if you decide to do your own thing, that's on you. And again, the cost is only $4.99.
yeah. Because my private tour guide was telling me like the way how you plan this South Africa trip, that's the way how I would have planned the Marquis. So he
Yeah.
said that's good planning that you had done. That's what he told me. He said he said the only thing that's missing out of your itinerary are the dates. The
Well,
reason
I
why
mean,
yeah.
no, okay. For the itinerary, I would not put any dates.
Now
Just
for me,
say,
like,
oh,
yeah, I don't pick no dates in my itinerary because it's
no,
just me. Because
yeah,
I
yeah.
already know what I'm gonna do.
Well,
Exactly.
the thing is, okay, if you're doing an itinerary for a particular country, how
Yeah.
many days are, you identify each day, day 1, day 2, day 3.
Day two. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you don't need to put
I don't need to put that.
Monday, Tuesday, June 4th. You don't do that.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
keep it generic as
yeah,
far as your timeline. Day
yeah.
1, day 2, day
So
3.
day
Now,
two. Yeah.
if you have something that revolves around a beach, I always try to have the beach day on a Saturday or a Sunday.
hmm
Typically most people don't want to go to the beach on a weekday. Now, if you're in Brazil, that's different.
hmm
But you just identify day 1 and just list down the itineraries. And if you could actually include links to like restaurants you've been to so they can see it. Like for me, I use Instagram.
Yeah.
So a lot of my references are referencing to Instagram places. So you could actually see what the place looked like.
hmm
And everybody has Instagram. So
Yeah.
it's like, okay, cool. And you could actually bookmark that particular spot. So when you do go there, you already know that's the spot to go to.
Yeah.
So that's what I do. And I felt like, hey, listen, if I'm going to create an ebook, I'm going to create an ebook that's going to be something that I can use.
Yeah.
I don't want to create an ebook. Hey, I'm buy my ebook, but it's worthless information. So I created an ebook where it's like, you know what, this is something that I will pick up and use for myself. And it's clickable. So if you download the PDF, all the links, you could click on the links and it will take you to the restaurant, the name of the restaurant. You get the reviews, all that stuff, man. So I figured, you know what, hey, let me use my marketing background and create my own content. So I started my first ebook, which is Havana. Now I'm working on Thailand, Brazil, and South Africa. Eventually I'll work on DR, Colombia, Costa Rica, Panama, and other places, London. I'll start working on those. But I figured, you know what, hey, I got all these great photos and videos. Why not just go ahead and create an ebook and sell it. And so far, I have 5 customers, just like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn. So okay, I need to take this shit more serious.
Yeah.
So yeah. So this is my first ebook, man. I'm proud, man. I'm like, man, that's like,
yeah, that's pretty good, man. You know,
you got a lot,
congrats on that.
you got a lot of people selling bullshit information out there, and I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
I got receipts. I've been to these places. I have a notepad, bro. I have a notepad of all the countries I've been to, like with all of my notes,
and,
dude.
yeah, like, you know, actually, I had a Canadian brother that reached out to me. He said that he wanted my itinerary for Africa, because Africa is like high on his list. I was like, yeah, sure, I'll give it to you, man. Like, you know, like,
sell $5.
Yeah. You said $5.
$5.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if you, okay, here's the thing. Me selling information, I feel like, you know what? Hey, with this information, would I pay for myself? I like to research my own thing. Like you pretty much the same way, because like when I start planning for a trip, I get excited.
Yeah, exactly.
I gave me a bottle of wine. Dude, I'm researching my ass off. I'm researching YouTubing, Instagram, Trip Advisory. I'm using all that stuff, man. So when I build out my itinerary, this shit's fully vetted. So I got a plan. And that's like anyone who travels with me, shout out to Bacchus, he taught me how to do this. That I want to have a good time if you travel with me, because I already did my research. I'm not one of these guys that go to a place. So hey, what I'm gonna do right now? Like, I don't know, I got nothing planned. No,
man, like, you know, I'm not one of those.
No, that's not me, dude. As soon as we land, I already know where happy hour is.
Exactly.
I already know where I'm going. So it's just like, hey, drop your bag. All right, change your clothes, wash up, let's go. So me personally, I've given my itineraries to some people for free, but I realized, you know what? I need to be compensated. And again, I'm not asking for much. $5. If you want it, I just send it to you, because there's no level effort for me. I just forward you the damn email. Right here, you can have it. But also too, I'm a strong believer in passing the baton. I'm all about giving guys information. Like, listen, man, here you go. Have fun.
You know. Oh, Kanal, let me tell you something. I have a 12-year-old niece that looks up to me. She wants to be an artist as well when she grows up, because, like, you know, I inspire her so much, but only I had met her one time. But like, the reason why she notified me is because she looks through her father and her mother's social media. She was like, wow, that's my uncle Marquies? I want to be just like him. You know, like, she's only 12 years old.
All right.
And she already looks up to me. So she ain't saying that she want to be like her mother or her father. She want to be like her uncle. But like, she barely doesn't even know her uncle. So that's, you know what, amazing.
Right. Let me tell you this, man. You'd be amazed who you inspired.
Yeah.
There's people out there looking at you, seeing the work that you do. They're inspired that you live in the life that they want to live. You know how many times guys would tell me, like, bro, I want to live the life that you live in. Yeah. And I'm like, my life is not that grand. There's nothing special about it.
Yeah.
I just do things that I want to do.
Exactly.
And I don't wait on people. But the thing is, a young person such as her, dude, bring her, teach her the game. Because keep in mind, bro, eventually, if you get married, have kids, you ain't gonna be traveling like that.
Yeah, exactly.
And so for me to pass this knowledge to my sons, to my nieces, to my nephews, dude, that's what I want to do.
Exactly.
I want them to. I want to be 60 years old, seeing my niece and nephews living their best lives overseas. I want to see that.
Exactly, because like when my niece grows up, like, I would love to pass the torch on to her. Like, the stuff that I learned, like, teach her how to plan an itinerary. Like, the things that to watch out for when she's like doing solo trips as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really up. Excuse me. It is our responsibility to teach the younger generation how to move. Now, the older heads, fuck them. I mean, there's certain things you can't teach them. It's like, all right, like, if I sit down and talk to you and I'm telling you what not to do and what to do, and you choose to do what I tell you not to do, all right, then shit, I'm wasting my time. But a younger generation who are eager to learn, they'd be more inclined to like take it all in and apply it. So I've always reached out to, when guys reach out to me, or even women reach out to me on traveling, dude, I make time for them. It's like, hey, call me in 30 minutes and I'll walk you through the process.
Yeah.
Because trust me, I've been in that area where I reached out to some of the older heads and they wanted to gatekeep the information. It was just like, yo, the hell, like, you don't need to gatekeep it, man. I appreciate if you could actually teach me something or whatever, but I don't want to be like that. because I feel like my time will come to an end when it comes to traveling. And why not just share this knowledge with other people? If I can inspire the next group of men, either be old heads or young ones, to go out there and go to Cuba, go to Brazil, go to South Africa, go ahead and do it. And the thing, I'm never going to sit here and tell them like, oh, you got to learn the language first. Fuck all that, man. A lot of these countries I've been to, I did not know the language, man. I just bought a ticket, went out there, did my research, and showed up.
Is that the same?
That's it, man.
Yeah.
So it's like, for me, if you want to go to Brazil, okay, are you willing to listen what I have to tell you? Yes or no? No? All right, then I'm not going to waste my time. Go buy your ticket and go to Mabs, go to 4x4 and have fun. But if you really want to have a Brazilian true life experience where you go to São Paulo, Bahia, Rio, and really explore the culture and food and people, then yes, reach out to guys like us. But if you're just trying to look for ass, yeah, dude, you just jump on YouTube. You'll get all the information you need.
Mm-hmm.
So for you and with your niece, dog, reach out to her, man. Teach her. Mm-hmm. Because who knows, she may take what you've done and take it to the next level.
Yeah.
That's a legacy you're leaving behind, man.
Yeah. That's the goal that I want to do. I want to leave this world with a legacy,
And as I said before, I admired your work. I admired you as a man. I admired you how you travel, and I watch you grow. And I'm a big fan of your work, man. So it's like, I'm not afraid to tell another man that I admire how he moves. Mm-hmm. Dude, I always admire that, man. Is the fact that you did things your way.
Yeah.
And you did it by yourself, and I love that. And I'm like, yeah. Like, be that lone wolf. Yeah. It's like, man, go out there and get it. You don't need a damn fucking group to live your life. You live your life based on your own terms by you doing you. That's it. So, hey, I'm proud of you, brother, man.
Well, yeah, thanks, man. Yeah.
But that's it, man. Dude, it's almost 2 hours, man. I ain't expected it to be 2 hours.
yeah, same here.
Well, hey, man, it was a pleasure to have you guys. I'm gonna drop the link to my damn Havana ebook. If you want to purchase it, you're more than happy to do it. There's a lot of great information, but if you don't, it's all good. But besides that, I'll be doing more live streams. I'll be doing more content again. I've just been working on transitioning to some other phase in my life. But I definitely want to spotlight more guys like Marcus. There's a lot of us out here that's doing amazing things overseas, and they need to be heard. I think it's time that you guys hear how other travelers move. Not everyone is traveling for the same thing and for the same reasons. So definitely, guys, reach out to Marcus, pick his brains, and follow him on Facebook. And that's it, man. Marcus, you want to close it out, man? Any last word you want to share, or?
Also I want to share, just live your best life, man. Wherever you're comfortable feel doing, just live your life the way how you want to live, especially when it comes to traveling. You don't have to follow the bandwagon what everybody else is doing. The reason everybody else is like traveling for. Travel the way how you want to travel, the way how what inspires you to travel the world, and also don't like pitch yourself with other people, that's just live your life the way how you want to live it, man. That's about it, man.
Yeah, live your best life, fellas, man. And again, you never know who's watching you, man.
Yeah.
You never know who's watching you, and always inspire others, man. Being an inspiring light, and live your best life, man. Guys, we appreciate you taking the time to listen to us. Make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe. Man, just live life. Live life, guys. We only have one life to live, man. Live life. Live it. Live it. Fuck what everybody else has to say, man. Do shit on your own terms, man. With that being said, thank you so much, guys. It's been an interesting live show. Tomorrow was Friday. Friday's the Lions Den, so I'll be live with the Lions Den with Roland and Fearless. But besides that, guys, have a great day, man. Be easy and take care, man.
Yeah, take care.